Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. This post is on safety. That's why I'm all hiding in this little cave. We know it is wrong to train people for unproductive roles and to waste money on toys when there are people who are hungry for food, knowledge, space, fresh air, friendship, and all of those things that everyone needs. Yet, when we invest too much money in academic research, both of these criticisms come to bear. A century ago, we had a revolution in physics, which opened the door to the age of computing and nuclear power. Before that, we opened the door to the age of the steam engine, the age of exploration, the age of the printing press, and the age of gunpowder. Each of these technologies brought progress, along with a lot of pain and suffering. The pain and suffering came when our bureaucracies enabled people to work on the technology without questioning how it would be used. We had the sailor who didn't question what he was doing to a new land, the soldier who didn't question his role in history, the author who didn't think about how his words would be used to instigate murder, the scientist who didn't think about how his work could be used to destroy. The story of hubris and deliberate blindness repeats and repeats. Those who commit evil acts are usually just following orders and are proud of their contribution to civilized society. In a large hierarchy, fewer people feel responsible for making decisions, and therein lies the problem. At a certain point, no one feels responsible anymore. I don't think we have yet seen the full extent of the destruction from the hubris of our present age, and I think that it is naive for us to assume that further investment in the present research strategies will reap the same benefits that they did at the beginning of this age. There's a sort of lower return on investment after a certain point. In fact, in the last 50 years of investment in string theory and other types of physics research, it's been absolutely fruitless, and the physics studied in massive particle colliders has no applications now or in the foreseeable future. The argument that these efforts create spin-off technologies, well, I think there may be other ways that are more efficient. It is wrong to lay out incentives for young people to overwork themselves for the sake of praise and glory within the scientific community. Over-investing in science or physics creates armies of young people who will spend their days and nights on tedious empirical adjustments of systems or ideas which they may not fully understand and which may be absolutely pointless. I think that this is somewhat evil. I just watched a movie called Falling Down with Michael Douglas. In that movie, he built missiles. He was an engineer. He was a good cog in the machine, until the machine which trained him spit him out. The machine which trained him had made him so angry and with poor social skills, and he was so dangerous that his wife was afraid of him and told him to go away. Throughout the film, he walks through a wasteland of people who have been given no education and no sense of social responsibility. One is led to the speculation that if people like him had spent their time teaching young people how to use their minds to understand where they fit in the world, instead of spending their time building bigger and more glorious stuff, then the country he had spent his youth protecting and working for would seem more worth protecting when he got old. I worry that there are thousands of young people with their heads in the sand, and that when they pull their heads up and look around, they will feel dangerously betrayed in the same way that the character in Falling Down did. I'm led to the conclusion that instead of supporting excessive scientific research and the concentration of knowledge and power within specialized competitive enclaves, which tend towards myopia, we should spend more on supporting teachers and on giving people the materials and time that they need to think about the big picture. This is something that independent websites can do, and something which will help people distinguish science from pseudoscience and help restore the trust people have in good science, because there is a lot of good, valuable information that can be extracted from these systems. We have to reduce the noise so that the signal can shine through. I'm not entirely sure about everything I've just said in this post. It's very polemical, but at the time that I wrote it, it felt true. I think it's still worth thinking about, even if it isn't 100%. It's a bit of a one-sided picture of reality. I wrote it because I felt like the other side had been too strongly represented, and one requires a sort of dialectic, going back and forth to arrive at a more sensible, balanced attitude. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of the things you heard or learned something, and that you will continue reading my blog and watching my videos, and looking at my novels. I'm a terrible salesperson. Until next time.